We think this is dynasty, and therefore it's not a pejorative term. In 1963, and then I have to close, Malaysia was formed. We were Malaya up to then. 1963, we brought in Singapore, Sabah, Sarawak. But in the case of the Siamese twins, which were Singapore and Malaysia, who had shared the same kinship, culture, families, business across the causeway, we were all one. They split off from us in 1965 to form that very smart society we know as the developed Singapore of 2011. We were left, however, with Sabah and Sarawak, and the government existed on a 2/3 majority for a very long time, which allows it to change the constitution, but it didn't make any very radical or unaccountable changes. Then in 2008, the democratic dividend. We had, for the first time, an election where the opposition made inroads, a two-party system. Pakistan came in, the glue in Pakistan with its uneasy, you'd have thought, strange bedfellows like BNP and, the Chinese party and PAS. Who would have thought? But the glue in the system was Anwar Ibrahim, because he's a very charismatic leader. And of course, he's probably hoping to be the Prime Minister in waiting, and we will have an election. I don't know when. I still think the Protestant will probably win again, but it may, at the moment, it's rather upbeat. We don't know. And we come to Datuk Najib. He's a political aristocrat, a Datuk Shah Banda of Pahang, lineage on both sides. He's descended from Haji Noah, the first Speaker in the House, and he's the first cousin of Isha Muddin, and they go back to political distinction, including Omri Jaffa, who founded Omri. At the same time, Najib's the product of meritocracy. He got there not by lineage, he got there on merit, he worked hard for it, and now what you've got is the present day Malaysia, and what is our future? James Hayes in 1910 said, the Mediterranean is the sea of the past. The Atlantic is the sea of the present. But the Pacific will be the sea of the future. 1910. The Middle East at the moment is in turmoil. Most Asian countries are upbeat about the growth of Asia. We'll take over temporarily from the Middle East in some respects. But many Asian countries in this region confine their horizon to Asia. They don't think beyond. But Malaysia does. It's got a trans-Pacific outlook, a new entente cordiale between Obama and Najib. It's got a trans-Pacific trade agreement on the outlook. Because I think we are entering, and you are entering, because you're young, you're entering a globalizing, interconnecting world where you will have to coexist with many, many races and cultures, but you will have an advantage which Malaysia is giving you. You are ahead of the game when it comes to diversity and intercultural coexistence and intercultural management, aren't you? Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Datuk Paddie Bowie, for the very inspirational as well as somewhat patriotic lecture. So now I would like to open the floor to a question and answer session. If you have any questions from the crowd, you raise your hands and we will call you out and you may ask your question.
Painful period. Obviously, things like oil supplies are being disrupted. There's still a lot of poverty. Mubarak's gone. It will take them some time to regroup. But because they have won the democratic battle, I see, if you're prepared to wait, I think they have a better future. What am I doing? I'm doing the wrong thing, sorry. You see, they've, all through the Middle East, they've got rid of their aging tyrants, kings and prime ministers who lasted for 40 years plus with military backing, and consequently had an autocratic rule. And they didn't listen to your generation. Now in Egypt, your generation has taken over. And I think because they've displayed such tremendous solidarity, it's been a revolution, but a peaceful one, and you've got all kinds working together. They'll work together to build a new, legitimate democracy. But there will be that period. The snake has shed its skin, but the new beautiful skin is not there yet, okay? But I think Egypt will come through. I'm not sure about Libya.
Any next question, please? Yes.
Do you think Malaysia's current problems are largely economic or social problems?
I think they're both. I think it's all interconnected. I did say earlier that independence, we had a diverse population, and the Bowie culture were 57%. They're now 65%, so we moved from majority to supremacy. Now, I don't mind that. I don't mind living in an Islamic country. I've had no encroachment on my Christian faith. Temple, mosque and church sit side by side. You can have a mosque in the middle of an industrial estate, spirituality and technology together. And so I don't necessarily think there will be any repression. But you have got now fringe groups appearing based on race and religion, and they are more vociferous. The quiet majority of Malaysians are, to my mind, still the moderate, tolerant, million miles from the Taliban Malaysians I've always lived with, but they're the quiet majority. These fringe groups, based on race and religion, who want to take advantage, shall we say, of the NEP, who want rent-seeking, who want contracts, who want unfair advantages, and they're vociferous, so countries like America sometimes pick up what they say and think we are an Arab-style extremist Muslim country, which we're not. And so I think one has to be very careful of chauvinism, racial chauvinism, affecting our productivity. I think Malaysians are talented, but also one has to admit there's been a flight of talent, and you get those prodigal sons and daughters of Malaysia who went abroad to study and are not coming back. There's been a flight of talent. We need more talent. The talent goes going out to try and find them. So we'll have to bring in foreigners, professionals, if we are to achieve the high income level and go up the value chain that they are suggesting. But I think there's still, in Malaysia, a lot of hard-working talent, and I think we'll make it. But it will be much more problematical in future.
Next question. If there are no further questions, then I would like to invite the President of the Society to present a token of appreciation to Datuk Paddie Bowie.
We have artistic talent. We do, look at that. And hardly dare open it. It's a shame, isn't it? Oh, it didn't have to be. Yeah, oh, I see. Okay, okay. Thank you. Yes, that would be nice. Come, Mary. Can you release me from this?
Alright, so thanks everyone for your time and for being here today. Another round of applause to our speaker today, Datuk.